The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended World War I. However, it also sowed the seeds of future conflict. The treaty, particularly its harsh terms imposed on Germany, created resentment and instability in Europe. Germany was forced to accept responsibility for the war and saddled with crippling reparations payments. This fueled economic hardship and political turmoil within Germany, creating fertile ground for extremist ideologies to take root. The loss of territory and the limitations imposed on Germany's military further humiliated the nation. The once proud German Empire was reduced to a shadow of its former self. This humiliation was deeply felt by many Germans who yearned for a return to national greatness. The treaty's stipulations, seen as unjust and vindictive, undermined the possibility of lasting peace. The Treaty of Versailles, while intended to prevent future wars, ultimately contributed to the outbreak of World War II. It created a climate of resentment and instability in Europe. The treaty's legacy continued to cast a long shadow over international relations for decades to come. The failure of the Treaty of Versailles serves as a stark reminder of the importance of just and equitable peace settlements in the aftermath of conflict. The end of World War I brought about not only political upheaval but also economic chaos. The war had devastated European economies. The cost of the war, coupled with the loss of manpower and infrastructure, left many nations struggling to rebuild. Inflation soared and unemployment reached unprecedented levels. Germany, burdened by reparations payments, faced economic collapse. The value of the German mark plummeted, wiping out the savings of countless citizens. Hyperinflation gripped the nation, leading to widespread poverty and social unrest. The economic hardship created a sense of desperation and anger, making the population susceptible to extremist promises of national revival. Japan, while not as severely affected as Europe, also faced economic challenges. The collapse of international trade during the war had a significant impact on Japan's export-dependent economy. The resulting economic downturn contributed to social unrest and the rise of militaristic factions within the government. These economic hardships, coupled with the political instability of the post-war era, created a volatile mix. The stage was set for the rise of extremist movements that promised simple solutions to complex problems. The economic turmoil of the 1920s played a crucial role in the events that led to World War II. The interwar period witnessed the rise of extremist ideologies, fueled by the economic and political turmoil that followed World War I. In Italy, Benito Mussolini's fascist party exploited the disillusionment and discontent among the population. Fascism, with its emphasis on nationalism, authoritarianism and corporatism, promised to restore Italy to its former glory. In Germany, the Nazi Party, led by Adolf Hitler, capitalized on the widespread anger and resentment over the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler's ideology, a toxic blend of nationalism, anti-Semitism and racial superiority, resonated with many Germans who felt humiliated and betrayed by the outcome of the war. The Nazis promised to restore German pride and power, scapegoating Jews and other minorities for the nation's woes. In Japan, militarist factions gained increasing influence within the government. They advocated for expansionism and military aggression as a means to secure Japan's economic and strategic interests. The militarists glorified war and conquest, promoting a cult of the emperor and a sense of Japanese superiority. The rise of these extremist movements, with their emphasis on nationalism, authoritarianism and militarism, posed a grave threat to international peace and stability. The world watched with growing concern as these ideologies gained traction, setting the stage for another devastating global conflict. The Great Depression, which began in 1929, had a profound impact on the world, exacerbating existing tensions and contributing to the rise of extremist movements. The stock market crash in the United States triggered a global economic downturn. International trade plummeted, unemployment soared, and millions were plunged into poverty. The Depression had a devastating impact on Germany, already struggling with the burden of war reparations. The withdrawal of American loans further crippled the German economy, leading to widespread unemployment and social unrest. The Nazis exploited the economic crisis to their advantage, gaining support among the desperate and disillusioned. The Depression also had a profound impact on Japan, which relied heavily on exports to fuel its economy. The collapse of international trade hit Japan hard, leading to economic hardship and social unrest. The military, capitalizing on the crisis, argued that expansionism and military aggression were necessary to secure Japan's economic survival. The Great Depression had a profound and lasting impact on the world. It exacerbated existing tensions, fueled the rise of extremist movements, and created an environment ripe for conflict. The economic despair and social unrest of the 1930s played a significant role in the events that led to World War II.